This man invented the electric chair. Alfred P. Southwick, the inventor of the electric chair, had the idea for it after watching a drunk man electrocute himself after he touched a live generator in 1881. Later, as Southwick thought about the tragic event and realized the intoxicated man died relatively quickly, he thought electrocution could be a painless way to kill something. Initially, Southwick used electrocution to put down stray dogs at the Buffalo, New York SPCA. Southwick recruited Dr. George Fell to assist him in his experiments. The experiments Southwick and Dr. Fell conducted were crude. Sometimes the men would lure stray dogs into boxes full of water and wires they would plug in when the dog touched the box. Dr. Fell sometimes even dissected the dogs while alive to see what electrocution did to the internal organs. Southwick soon began considering using electrocution as a type of execution for capital punishment. Southwick thought electrocution was a more humane way to execute someone than the current methods of capital punishment. At the time, popular forms of execution were hangings, guillotines, and flaying. Southwick was more than just an inventor. He was a steamboat engineer and a dentist. Being a dentist, Southwick was used to working on people as they sat in a chair, which is why he chose a chair as the execution device. In 1886, the governor of New York set up a committee to find a more humane way to execute criminals after a series of botched hangings. The committee explored many different methods, but eventually, the committee decided on Southwick's electric chair, which worked by attaching metal conductors to the subject's head and feet. Electrocution began as a mode of execution in New York State in 1889. Only a few months later, in the summer of 1890, William Kemmler would be the first man executed in the electric chair. Kemmler, convicted of killing his partner Matilda Ziegler, was supplied with 1,000 volts of electricity as Southwick thought this was enough power to cause a heart attack. After 17 seconds, the executioner turned the electricity off, and a coroner declared Kemmler dead, but someone noticed the man was still breathing. Once the executioner confirmed that Kemmler was alive, he hurried to turn on the current. This time, Kemmler was injected with 2,000 volts and his blood vessels burst beneath the skin. Witnesses claimed his skin started to bleed and he caught on fire. The smell was awful as Kemmler's hair began to burn. Several witnesses had to leave the small room due to the odor. The execution took 8 minutes total. One newspaper wrote the prison would have been better off if they had used an axe to kill Kemmler. That's how badly that it went. Although there was chaos at Kemmler's execution, states around the nation began to adopt it as their primary form of capital punishment. After New York started to use the electric chair, other states like Ohio, New Jersey, and Virginia followed. Southwick died in 1989 and is buried in Buffalo, New York. Today, capital punishment is usually acted out using lethal injection. The last execution by the electric chair was in 2002.